keep it moving properly. No me importa lo que haces, ain't no way of stopping me. Moving through property like I owned every monopoly. Smoking broccoli, compartiendo ideologies. Pero solamente pasa on a special occasion with beautiful, intelligent mommies that stay blazing. Y ahora for the motherfucking niggas. Yo. See. Immortal technique, the resurrected Che Guevara. But y'all cats are just a bunch of fake Tony Montanas. I bring drama like Revolución Cubana and rock stages like my last name was Santana. Como puedes comparar your entourage to my squad? You motherfuckers is faker than Resurrection Boulevard. And I'm trying to be hard, cause I don't stress fake good fellas. I'll burn your house down and empty the clip and do abuela. Which I had to try to convince everyone that they tripe. Hablando mierda, but you never shot a gun in your life. Siempre gritando, how you keep it real in the sight. But most of you rappers can't even keep it real with your wife. I sacrifice a puto cabrón for running his mouth. Carjack and kidnap you in front of your house. And while you're tied up by the shotgun while I'm driving down south, I'll push the pedal to set dead back and kick you the fuck out. Solamente to look back and have something to laugh about. I doubt you really want technique as an enemigo. Fuck with me, I'll make your people turn up their desaparecido. My estilo is Tupac Amaru y Zapatista. I'm a rebel soldier murdering the rap artistas. Colombian necktie MCs, hasta la vista. Taking over the fucking country like a socialista. Yo, we keep it moving properly. No me importa lo que haces, ain't no way of stopping me. Moving through property like I owned every monopoly. I'll blow your fucking brains out and spread your philosophy. This is for all the celoso motherfuckers that's watching me. I don't make threats, bitch. Lo que hablo is prophecy. Toda la gente sepa que no me importa cuánta mierda usted habla, cuánta mierda. I'll still be on my job. Ever still be here. Still be doing my thing. Para siempre. Para siempre. I'll be in everybody's parade. Mortal technique. Se acabaron la mierda. why Latino and black people who are struggling to get food, clothes, and shelter in the hood are so concerned with that philosophizing about freedom and socialist democracy is usually, unfortunately, beyond their rationale. They don't realize that America can't exist without separating them from their identity, because if we had some sense of who we really are, there's no way in hell we'd allow this country to push its genocidal consensus on our homelands. This ignorance exists when it can be destroyed. Niggas talk about change and working within the system to achieve that. The problem with always being a conformist is that when you try to change the system from within, it's not you who changes the system. It's the system that will eventually change you. There is usually nothing wrong with compromising a situation, but compromising yourself in a situation is another story completely. And I have seen this happen long enough in the few years that I've been alive to know that it's a serious problem. Latino America is a huge colony of countries whose presidents are cowards in the face of economic imperialism. You see, third world countries are rich places, abundant in resources, and many of these countries have the capacity to feed their starving people, and the children would always see digging for food and trash on commercials. But plutocracies, in other words, a government run by the rich, such as this one, and traditionally oppressive European states, force the third world into buying overpriced, unnecessary goods while exporting huge portions of their natural resources. I'm quite sure that people will look upon my attitude and sentiments and look for hypocrisy and hatred in my words. My revolution is born out of love for my people, not hatred for others. You see, most of Latinos are here because of the great inflation that was caused by American companies in Latin America. Aside from that, many are seeking a life away from the puppet democracies that were funded by the United States. Places like El Salvador, Guatemala, Peru, Colombia, Nicaragua, Ecuador, and República Dominicana. And not just Spanish-speaking countries either, but Haiti and Jamaica as well. As different as we have been taught to look at each other by colonial society, we are in the same struggle. And until we realize that, we'll be fighting for scraps from the table of a system that has kept us subservient instead of being self-determined. And that's why we have no control over when the embargo will stop in Cuba or when the bombs will stop dropping in Vieques. But you see, here in America, the attitude that is fed to us is that outside of America, there live lesser people. Fuck them, let them fend for themselves. No, fuck you. They are you. No matter how much you want to dye your hair blonde and put fake eyes in, or follow an anorexic standard of beauty, or no matter how many diamonds you buy from people who exploit your own brutally to get them, no matter what kind of car you drive, or what kind of fancy clothes you put on, you will never be them. They're always going to look at you as nothing but a little monkey. I'd rather be proud of what I am rather than desperately try to be something I'm really not, just to fit in. And whether we want to accept it or not, that's what this culture or lack of culture is feeding us. I want a better life for my family and for my children, but it doesn't have to be at the expense of millions of lives in my homeland. We're given the idea that if we didn't have these people to exploit, that America wouldn't be rich enough to let us have these little petty material things in our lives and basic standards of living. No, that's wrong. It's the business giants and the government officials who make all the real money. We have whatever they kick down to us. My enemy is not the average white man. It's not the kid down the block or the kids I see on the street. My enemy is the white man I don't see. The people in the White House, the corporate monopoly owners, fake liberal politicians, those are my enemies. The generals of the armies that are mostly conservative.